Thank you so much to everyone who sent me these nice messages about this Instagram thing. I should have reached out to everyone or posted something first before I reacted to that scammer's message, because people told me that that's a scam. My friend told me not to respond to that or give any information to those people, that Meta would never send messages through like a chat like that. So if you ever receive a message like that, please, I guess we have to just ignore. I It was my first experience, and then I didn't know what to do, and they stir up those kind of you know I got into this reactive mode, and I sent some information on the appeal account. I had to put my email address or password to log in and stuff like that, right? So I put that password and I gave them my password. Those scammers, I hate those scammers. um, what a world, right? This is like, I always think of that happened when Venus squared Saturn too, early in the morning today. And I don't know, my Saturn is at third house, and the Gemini house is the sixth house. I've been feeling sixth house is a little bit of challenging house, personal, within the birth chart. So I've been feeling tested these days, right? I spoke about that on a couple of my last YouTube clips and stuff, and I just took this, what happened today, as a test too. And then I didn't react to that point like, oh, fearful of losing this account. I was like, oh, if they take that down, that means like whatever. But at the same time, I appealed, I wanted to appeal to just to say like, I don't have no bad intention, or I'm not scamming people, or I think there is some kind of a thing against astrology too. Overall, some people take astrology as a scam, and um, whatever. And my stupid me just kind of sent in those information to those pastors. But the password that I put in to that I that I gave them when I tried to change my own password on Instagram, because my friend told me to change that password, block them, and do those things right away. And when I tried to change my password, I couldn't change my password, because that password that I thought was the right password was not. So hopefully, like, I'm now trying to save my account, not from Meta Instagram itself, but I'm trying to save my account from those scammers. They're trying to hack my account and trying to do some crazy things. And I hope that because of that password, the wrong password, I hope they're not going to be able to do that. And I send my prayer to the universe that it will be protected. And I appreciate many of you who send positive messages of light my way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When those kind of personal things happen, my personal reaction is not to post that on those. I don't usually post my personal stuff on Instagram. So I was just gonna deal with it by my own self, but by me sharing that on a story, I appreciate you so much. I send my love back to you all. And this, I think, you know, I'm. I try to keep this Instagram account as um, I share my love, right? I know many people are aware of it, but um, my practice that I do on Instagram, even though I sometimes get caught up with my ego mind, and my ego mind gets in to check how many likes or stuff like that, but I try to ignore that at all, right? It doesn't matter how many likes that I get, how many followers that I get. I just put out the content that I feel passionate about, and I want that, right? I want that platform or whatever that I do out of my love, not caring about the reaction, because I've cared so much. My self-conscious awareness and always caring about how I am perceived or how I am judged has been a difficult, challenging um, aspect of my mind, because my mind can be overly critical and highly analytical, and I try to practice not caring, right? That's a big practice. And then I think out of that fact that I stopped caring so much of making my Instagram grow or something like that, when that resistance kind of got dropped off, it automatically started to grow. um, I think it's like, stupid. Some, like, one of my Instagram repost to get, become viral, and then, like, suddenly it reaches out to so many people. And recently it was one of that Brazilian guys singing that I posted. It got viral, and the more that it reaches out, I started to feel like, that means those uh, haters, or those who wants to criticize, or who wants to put it down, when it always it's how the law of energy works, right? We were witnessing that in the world too, because of the fact that um, the light awareness and expansive awareness, the spiritual awareness, astrology is a part of it, spirituality is a part of it, um, right? Art is a part of it. When those energies are expanding, and when many people are trying to change the world, to be the force of change within the world, on the other side there is this old patriarchal type of power control and war and spreading of the fear, right? It's been real since 2020, especially through the COVID time. It's all related, right? So when those comes in and out, I want to be a witness rather than getting so caught up um, with one side, or overly attached to this account. The thing is, this Instagram account can be deleted at any point, right? I might disappear tomorrow, and so life goes on, right? The attachment theme has been the practice that I've been feeling like I've been tested, that I spoke about, that the universe testing me, especially the sixth house theme is a little bit of a test. But it's not the universe testing me, it's my higher self testing me, and testing me if I am committed to walk that path of non-attachment, right? Without like, I'm saying this, I say this over and over again in the practice of yoga, my yoga classes, and because the practice of yoga, or teaching and philosophy of yoga, is all about non-attachment, about us being free from the illusionary aspects of attachment. We get attached to this body, to this age, how I look, the status, work, job, money, relationship, people, everything that we are attached to, right? Mental attachments. But I feel like when that higher self, the force tests us, it's like, are you choosing to live what you believe, or are you gonna continue to live in the dualistic world? Right? I can say so many things. I can say sage-like things, right? On a platform, I can say anything. And then I can act like a guru, I can act like an enlightened being while I'm not. I'm just the one who's very enthusiastic and passionate about that path. I'm very curious about awakening, ascension, as you know, because that's I talk about it not from the perspective, not from the standpoint of I am that one. I never try to bring me like that kind of person. No, I'm fucked up. I am like, I have my own crazy cycle like attachments, or I can be fierce. I used to be very emotional, ups and downs, and angry and frustrated, and always thinking about the worst case scenario and negative. And I realized that pattern that I was living created some of that chaotic circumstances that I had to deal with in my life. So after, through all the ups and downs, I every day I wake up and then I think about the universe. The first thing, if you work with me, I suggested this in a practice, but we got to remind our mind that I prioritize my spiritual practice over anything again and again and again and again, right? Because our mind forgets it, right? It's easy to get sucked into this earthly, heavy, bounded realm filled with all those attachments and heavy reality that triggers our worries and fears, and that chat message triggered my fear and I got bought into it, right? Now I'm learning something again, right? Taking everything as a lesson, taking everything as an opportunity rather than the challenge. I mean, it can be a challenge, it can be a challenging opportunities, but it's not the end of the world, right? Nothing is that, right? We can get caught up with the disasters of the world and whatever that we go through in life. But again, like I'm seeing this test happening. Maybe it's the Venus Saturn square thing. Maybe it's the Gemini new moon with Venusian theme, right? It was a Kazemi. Venus and Sun are still together. They're just 1 degree apart. They're gonna continue to travel together now. Venus is in perfect square with Saturn. Saturn, that bringer of resistance, the bringer of blockages, bringer of a little challenging obstacles. But with again and again, if these kind of patterns and themes come up, maybe it's good to take it again is like a wake-up call, right? Everything that happens like that is a wake-up call, and this definitely was a wake-up call, I guess, in a way. I hope those, there's like these scammers theme is big. It's been big. That's one astrological correlation that I put into that scamming or delusions and illusions and lies and deceptions, right? That's kind of a theme related to Neptune, and Neptune is at 29 degrees of Pisces. It's the last end degrees of the zodiac wheel. That's the spot where, I mean, especially because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, Neptune being at that 29 critical analytical degrees of Pisces can bring up those big energies of lies, that even that chat that I received looked like the message from Meta, right? I've received some emails from Meta. It looked official, but I should have fucking looked deeper into that. Anyway, regrets. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. The past is dead and gone, and don't live in that space, right? We gotta remind our mind, and then we gotta remind our mind everything is gonna work out fine no matter what. So don't worry, it's gonna be fine, right? Anyway, uh, what was I gonna say? Yes, and Saturn is up in Pisces too. Neptune is at 29 degrees Pisces. That deception game is on, right? Neptune dissolves boundary. Pisces is the dissolver, boundary dissolvers, right? Pisces is like a fish. It comes this way, that way, escaping here, escaping there, showing the truth, right? It's a spiritual truth too. Neptune can represent the spiritual oneness and wholeness, and that truth, higher truth that the Neptunian realm can represent, art, everything, right? It dissolves boundary between separation, illusions of separation, but at the same time, Neptune can bring up the complete opposing forces of that truth, which is delusions and illusions, and once again, lies and attachments and depressions, and right, depression is the symptom that takes us away from that truth too, right? um, Not living in the moment here and now. This is the only truth that we have. Anyway, so I hope we can continue to build a muscle where we can see through those lies and deceptive energies. And I hope that we can collectively fight against those dark, shadowy energy force that wants to keep us in a low frequency vibrations, right? Those scammers, like, find some better things to do, right? Rather than hacking into people's account and pretending like other people, or just want to do some, like, and then we have to, this was a wake up call. Also, every time that some kind of things like that happens, I always try to think, okay, what is the energy frequency that I have to clear out inside of me, so I can choose not to see that as a reflection of my inner world, vice versa. Um, anyway, I hope you are doing good. Let's do a card for today's energy outside from my personal story that I just wanted to share, because after, anyway, it's been kind of crazy new moon, even though a lot of people are talking how blissful Venus Kazimi new moon. I had those moments of like clarity, but it's the Gemini, right? It's the opposing, dualistic, dark light. Ooh, I saw that star. Yes, it's the healing, big healing needed. Because this is, the star card is all about integration, right? Broken pieces of separating different pieces of us coming together. And this Gemini, I think this Gemini new moon really brought up that energy of this polarized energies, and that wave of that polarizations of expansion and constrictions and goodness, and then some kind of things can get triggered and you have to face this challenging reality. But again, our practice is to dance within those alternating rhythms of energies, good and bad, light and dark, yin and yang, all that, right? Hold on. I feel like those two cards have something to do. Yes, I mean, these two cards are the message that resonates well with that dark and light themes, right? Knight of Swords, representation of darkness. The Eight of Swords, Knight of Swords, Ten of Swords, all have a very dark themes, like dark energy themes. These 8, 9, 10 are 10 of sword is the Gemini, Sun in Gemini, but they're all actually Gemini ruled cards. This is the energy of Mars in Gemini, I believe. I forgot which planet was associated with this card, but it's the Gemini ruled card. And when that again, like Gemini is the mind, it's the Mercury, right? It's the craziness of our own mind. And this card is all about this person waking up from a dream, from a nightmare, and she feels a little disparate, right? She feels like, and in our world, our life can be felt like that. It can feel like a nightmare sometimes. It can feel like this complete disaster, but the blanket that this person, the blanket that covers this person is filled with zodiac signs. This does represent, don't forget that the whole entire universe is always supporting us and protecting us. When we get stuck in this mental realm, we get sucked into this reality, this situation, this life here on earth, and it can take us into this desperate space. But again and again, this symbolism represented here reminds us, keep our vision big, bigger, infinite, eternal realm is our blanket, right? That's our blanket. We are supported and protected by the blanket of the cosmic forces, the universe. And with that awareness, right, Queen of Swords, she chooses to cut all the attachments, cut through the illusions, right? Cut through the illusions, and she asks us here, you know, this is like, okay, what do you choose? What are you choosing? It feels like she's asking her or him, right? Are you choosing to stay stuck in this illusionary state where you feel like everything is so real, everything feels so real, right? This life feels real, this body feels real, and it is real, but at the same time, it is also a dream, right? It's a dream that the universe is seeing through us. It's the dream for our spirit, right? For our dancing spirit, this life, even though it's real, it's just one stepping stone to the next. So she asks us to keep our mind clear, keep our vision clear, keep our intention high, right? Wherever you're choosing to go, keep choosing to stay and not get lost in that dualistic, right? Swords are double-edged sword, right? It's always choose not to live in that dualistic realm of reality, right? If you choose to walk in a path of ascension and walk in a path of total liberation and freedom, again and again, we cannot keep choosing to come back here and tell the truth, right? Again and again, right? We have to choose to come back into the neutral space where we can see everything a little subjective, right? Third eye perspective. We are just watching everything from the God's eye, from the higher eye, and taking everything lightly rather than getting sucked into that heaviness as the concrete reality. And today and over this weekend, Hermit energy is with us. So this is the day today. It's good to connect to our own inner cave, right? Where all the magic lies, and keep bringing our awareness to, again, I mean, he is the one, he is the wise one, he is the wizard who chooses to walk the path of ascension, right? He chooses to leave all the things from the material realm, and he chooses to just walk into the mountain to 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 go, right? He is on his own spirit quest, just with eight-pointed star. Just with that eight-pointed star represents, it's a symbol of cosmic star, with the awareness of the cosmos, with the awareness of that big eternal realm. He chooses to move away from where he feels comfortable, all the attachment stuff, all the things that we're attached to are our comfort zone, right? And the universe has been kind of testing us. Are you going to continue to choose to stay in that comfort zone, or are you choosing to move away to be on the path that can bring up a lot of fear, that can bring up a lot of discomfort? But if you know that's the path to take for your ascension and leveling up, that we want to do, right? It's like we want to do that, but aspects of our mind says no. Even this feels like a nightmare, this feels comfortable, and I want to just continue to choose to stay here, right? It's the dance still again, you know. We go this way, and the next day we may go there, and then we try to tap back into that Queen of Sword energy and choose this path, and then, you know, something happens, and then we might go back here, and then it's all good, right? There is no right or wrong. This is better, this is worse. There is nothing like that, right? Every choice is our choice, and we can continue to live here too. There is nothing wrong with the fact we're choosing to live here either. There is no right or wrong within this universe, and no judgment, right? No one is better, one is worse, none of it. That concept itself is created by the illusionary, delusionary, crazy minds of ours, right? Moving beyond and away from that can be good, because, you know, moving beyond, and then that Six of Wands energy, right? We all want to go there. We want to go, right? He is the one who fought the battle. He was in a war field, and he fought the battle. He won the battle, and he came back to his own village with the wreath of victory and everything celebrating. We want to feel this kind of celebration and victory, and yes, let's keep aiming that space and keep seeing the light, keep seeing this, keep living in a spirit of celebration, yes, and to create more spirits, joyful spirits of celebration, right, here on earth. Anyway, thank you for listening all my chat and talk, and thank you, thank you, thank you. I send so much love, deep, deep gratitude your way. Peace. Thank you.